You seriously have no idea how critical B vitamins are to utilizing carbohydrates in the body, to burning some more fat, and to ultimately having the energy that you need to really feel your best. I'm Thomas DeLauer with PuraTHRIVE, and I'm going to break down what each and every single B vitamin does in the entire 8 vitamin complex. All right, so first off, we have vitamin B1, which is known as thiamine. Thiamine helps oxidize sugar into a usable form. Without vitamin B1, sugar cannot be oxidized, and you ultimately cannot have the true energy that you need. So therefore, it's also going to help you utilize those carbohydrates more efficiently so they don't ultimately get stored as fat. Exceptionally important when it comes down to nervous system and muscle function. Hence, utilizing sugar for energy to move your muscles and utilize your nerves. Then we have vitamin B2, also known as riboflavin. Super important when it comes down to the metabolism of not just carbohydrates, but also fats and also proteins. It's also a cofactor in creating what is called glutathione. Without riboflavin, we cannot create glutathione. And glutathione is what detoxes our body from all its natural toxins. So basically, our liver creates glutathione to ultimately detoxify us from things like alcohol, etc., etc. But without vitamin B2, we can never truly create glutathione within the body. Then we have vitamin B3, also known as niacin. You see, what niacin is going to do is it's going to help you utilize triglycerides properly. It's going to help the synthesizing of triglycerides, which means triglycerides aren't going to be floating around your body waiting to be utilized as the improper fat source or stored. But niacin is also going to help with the endothelial cells within your arterial wall, meaning it's going to help them relax so you get more blood flow. If you've ever heard of a niacin flush, that is exactly what it is, where you take copious amounts of niacin to increase your blood flow and ultimately you see redness. But normally, that's too much. That's not what you really want in a general healthy sense. Then we have B5, pantothenic acid. Okay? Pantothenic acid has been known for years to be tremendous for the skin, but do you know why? Well, pantothenic acid is tremendous in retaining collagen in the body. Helps your body utilize its collagen more effectively, but it also preserves it. But it's also involved in the liver's process of creating coenzyme A. So if we don't have coenzyme A, we can't produce energy. But if we don't have vitamin B5 or coenzyme A within our livers can't detoxify. One of the reasons that B5 is so good for the skin is it helps the liver flush out the impurities in our skin. That's why we get such a radiant look whenever we take vitamin B5 or pantothenic acid. Then we have vitamin B6, which a lot of people don't talk about, and that one's known as pyridoxal. Pyridoxal helps take tryptophan, which is an amino acid, and convert it into serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that helps us feel good. So without that conversion, we can't create the feel-good neurotransmitter. So very important when it comes down to mood regulation. It also plays a big role in water retention. If you have too much B6, then you're going to retain too much water. If you have too little B6, you're going to retain a lot of water. Then we move into vitamin B7, which is known as biotin. We all know biotin is tremendous for your hair, skin, and nails, but it has a lot of other attributes within the body too. See, in the same way that it helps you produce healthy hair, skin, and nails, it also helps you produce what is called the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is the outer casing of a nerve, and it's made up of a lot of the same materials that your hair, your skin, and your nails are. So without that myelin sheath, the nerves cannot send a signal from one end of your body to the other. So it's exceptionally important when it comes down to just looking and feeling your best and feeling connected with your body. Then we have B9, folate, also known as folic acid. This is extremely critical when it comes down to red blood cell formation, but also red blood cell division. You see, red blood cell division is the proper division, the proper utilization and creation of new red blood cells that are dividing from existing red blood cells. If we don't have this folic acid, they don't divide properly. We can end up with genetic mutations. But folic acid also plays a huge role in white blood cell creation. Without white blood cells, we don't have an immune system. So that's why it's so important that folic acid is in place when a woman is pregnant or when they just gave birth, because they lose a lot of that and they end up losing their immune system. So very important there. Then lastly, we have good old-fashioned vitamin B12, which is cobalamin. Cobalamin forms red blood cells. It works very closely with folic acid, B9. So B9 and B12 work together to help create new red blood cells and ultimately help those red blood cells divide to create a plethora of more good red blood cells. So without these B vitamins, your body is in some serious distress. And the hard part is they're water soluble. And that means whenever you get dehydrated or whenever you're too hydrated, your ratio of vitamin B to everything else in your body is off, throwing off your energy metabolism and throwing off the utilization of all of your macronutrients. So that's why PuraTHRIVE has a liposomal micellar form of the B complex, meaning you can get all your B vitamins in a fat-soluble form so that your body doesn't just quite honestly wash them away. So click on the link and you can learn a little bit more about what each B vitamin does, but also how you can utilize the technology that we're using here at PuraTHRIVE to get the most out of your life. I'll see you on the next page.